Hello everybody. In this video I will show you the basics about Python and we're going to do our first program. So actually let's get started. What's the cool thing about Python is that Python is an interpreter language, a high level interpreter language. What that mean? That means that it doesn't get compile the code. So for example, for a C++ program, you need to send that to the compiler and then that converts your code to a binary code, and you need the interpreter and the object and the linker to get together and have your executable in a computer in order to run it, pretty much. Something like that. I'm just being really abstract about the concept. So whenever you write code, you cannot execute that code somewhere else. You need to compile it wherever the computer you need to run it. Well, the difference with Python is an interpreter language. That means that you need to have a runtime environment in the computer in order to understand the language, and you can actually just need to compile it. Well, in the higher aspect, actually it says like an object semi-compiled, but that's like another subject. The cool thing about this is the Python, you pretty much you save in your source code and you execute your source code wherever you want it. It's multi-platform, so it can run in Linux, can run in Mac, can run in Windows without issues, and that helps us a lot about mobility. It's a really popular language. It's a really popular language because it's really easy to use. It's been around for over 20 years, something like that, and it's not only used by developers, used by security analysts, used by network analysts too, using it for automation tasks, for data scientists, for a lot of people actually use Python. It's a really good language to learn. And it's a really good language in order to understand the concept about programming language. And in this course, the system analysis and design will help us to grasp some of those projects or some of those concepts in here. So let's get started. As you can see my terminal, I already have it open. I'm inside my project folder. Let me move to my STC folder. And from there, let me move to my Spring 2020. And I will create a directory, in my case, ATP 3305. So I create the directory, I go inside the directory. I'm right here. And let me actually create my week 1 folder. Perfect. Now I'm turning here, I want to open it. I'm doing everything through the console, and I can actually just execute code that because we already have code, Visual Studio Code installed, and that will open my Visual Studio Code. In this case, this is just personal, but that means that I'm opening in my week 1 folder. Another way to do it is go to File, Open, and you go through the different folders that you want. You select the folders that you need and just click Open, and it will do pretty much the same. So now that I'm here, I like to use the terminal. So let me open my terminal. And as mentioned before, probably my terminal looks different as yours. That doesn't matter, the code is actually the same. I'm already inside my week 1. So what I like to do is just execute code, and let's do application.py. That will create my application.py program. Let me save it, and it's already listed there. If I do an ls, I can see it. If you're in a Windows computer, you can use dir, and we'll list the content of the directory. If you're in a Mac, as I am, ls will do the trick for you. So we know that the application is there. So the simplicity of Python will help us actually just to do something as simple as print hello there. And to execute, we just execute in a Mac with Python 3, in a Windows with just Python command. and we see what is put in there. So let's see what is actually happening. The interpreter is just reading the source code and executing that, but it's actually not compiling it. The interpreter is reading and is doing everything for you without the need to be compiling. So you actually take this application py um, file and move it in another computer, execute it like with the interpreter, and you will have the same results. That's one of the beauties about Python, and that's why some people use it as automation process or use it as a data scientist in order to get more information as soon as possible. So there is actually one way. So in order to expose information, you can do it two ways. You can do it through the single quote, or you can do it through double quote. Save it and execute again, and both are actually working. Something really important to see. One of the exercises in the book that you will actually exploring is that when you have something incomplete like this, the really cool thing about Visual Studio Code is that you already installed your Python um, library, and it will give you the error right here. Or if you try to compile, it will tell you pretty much that something is missing. In this case, the double quote is missing. Something simple. Another cool thing about this is about the comment. So we can actually put a comment, and a way to do is remove with the pound character, and this is a comment. And if we execute, that line it doesn't get executed or posted. And actually you can comment code with a pound at the beginning, and that particular code will not get executed again. So this is a way just to comment the code, and sometimes I will recommend you to actually do it. So for this example, what I like to do sometimes is doing like the titles. So title or purpose of the project. In this case, let's do my favorite song. Something like this, something simple. Just personalizing the file, and I can use, I don't know, print let me actually assign a variable. So a variable is a space in memory that will contain a specific value, and those values can be numbers, can be volumes, or can be strings, and it's going to be different. The way to assign those variables in Python are really simple. In other programming language, you actually need to define what type of variable you need to save. You need to, this is going to be integer, this is going to be a string, something like that. In Python, you don't declare that, you just assign it. And with that, you will use it in your code. In this case, let me just put something like title in single quotes, and we'll put like Sweet Home Alabama. I don't know, I'm not from there, but I just like the song. And I can do something like my favorite song is from title. This is what I'm going to do. It's pretty much printing this text and then printing the title. Title is a variable that has Sweet Home Alabama assigned it. That's why we can actually print it like that. Really simple, really easy. And we can actually just print something like this, or we can actually print something. This is just to like skip in a line, pretty much. And we can actually do print, let's say, Sweet, Home, Alabama. 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 Sweet, where the skies are so blue. Sweet home Alabama. Lord, I'm coming, I believe, and I will show something. Come to you. Here's something really funny happen. Because I'm using the single quote inside the text, you need to escape it, so you can do something like this, and it will accept it. And it will explain what is that. We're printing, we have my favorite song, it's Sweet Home Alabama, and printing the chorus. Let's actually do something like this. I believe I can do that. No. There you go. And let me explain what I did. I assigned a variable with a text. Text need to be assigned with a single equal sign and between single quotes or double quotes. If we do double quotes, we are going to do pretty much the same. And we have the same output. So that actually doesn't matter. In particular, I like single quotes. Then we're printing text, combining with the variable. Then we're doing some escaping characters. Those escaping characters do something really particular. In this case, the backslash n, what it does jump a line. In order to skip this, we can actually do something like this. Just print something empty, and then print something empty. And if we execute, we have the same lines here, but to be sincere, it doesn't look that impressive, right? And why we need to write extra code for something that can be just accomplished with the escape line, like this. So when we do the backslash, we're doing in the text have something really special. In this case, it's a new line. The n is a new line. We have different, like the T, for example. The T is a tab, so it's actually jumping, as you can see. And we have several. We will look some of those later during the semester. For now, let's just keep it a new line like that. I have a program. We learn also that with use a pound we can actually put comments. So we can actually assign title variable, and we can be as specific as we want, like print text with a variable, backslash means escape character, follow up with n, jump line. And because we're using single quote here, we can actually say that with escape character we can print reserved, let me put it like that, words or characters. In this case, because I'm using single quote, and I want to print a single quote, if I don't have this escape, the program will think that my line actually finished here, and everything rest given like an error. I'm expecting closing or a comma, something different, and I get something unknown. I don't know what to do with this. It's pretty much what I'm saying. So there's two ways to fix that. One way could be having the double quote, and you can actually use single quotes inside, or the way that I did it, have a single quote, and with the escape character, the backslash, you can actually print it. And I'm pretty much printing the chorus of one of my favorite songs. That's it. For assignment, I would like to everybody actually submit your code. What you need to actually to upload is that application.py file. Happy coding, everybody.